So I want to talk about getting involvement, right? From a leadership perspective, that's what we need, is we need people to be involved. One of the things I do is work with leaders and work with teams. And one of the big things we want from teams is people to be involved in teams. So how do you get involvement? One of the ways we try to get involvement is by telling people get involved. One of the ways we try to get involvement is by incentivizing people. If you get involved, I'll give you this. Pretty soon people say, I want the hat if I'm going to be on a team, right? It's not involvement, you're buying it. So involvement is people saying, that's the direction I want to go, that's the thing that I want to do, that's what I want to be part of. And the real way you can feel that is by asking somebody to make a decision for you. I'm just talking about feeling it, right? So let me give you an example. Okay, so I do regular work in Charlotte, North Carolina. So picture this, I'm uptown Charlotte. I'm working with a group of leaders. We're having a meeting, it's lunchtime, and some of them say to me, hey, McCaddy, you want to go with us? We're going to go get some lunch. And I say, sure, let's go, right? I'm always interested in being taken someplace different. And where they took me to was a food truck. It's a food truck in downtown Charlotte. It's called Bones, B-O-N-E-S, Bones. So I'm down there, it's outside, it's a food truck, and they serve barbecue. I like barbecue. And one of the things they have on the menu is ribs. I got a beard. So you got to be careful when you eat ribs when you got a beard, because it's going to be real messy. So this is outside. They have tons of paper towels. So I'm thinking this is a safe place to have ribs. So I order ribs. And they got a whole bunch of sides. When you order the rib platter, you get like 4 ribs and you get like 2 sides. And so I'm looking at the sides, and one of the sides, you got to get when you're doing barbecue is beans. So I said, okay, give me the beans. But then they got a lot of other sides that all look good. And I did what I frequently do, what I'm asking you to consider doing, is I asked the person who's taking my order, the server at the food truck, I said, I tell you what, all of those sides look good to me. Why don't you pick a side that you think would be good and give that to me? But don't tell me what it is, you pick it. So everybody's watching this right now. What are you going to get, McCaddy? I don't know. And then one of 2 things are going to happen. Either when you do that, the server's going to go, I got these old fries, been here for 3 days, let me throw them on this fool. Or they're going to say, man, they're allowing me to make a decision. I want to make the best decision. And that's always been what's happened to me. Because what happened when they brought out my little styrofoam box full of food, I had my 4 ribs, and it was delicious. And then I had my beans. But then what they gave me was this green bean casserole, think like holiday time kind of a thing, except it wasn't just like green beans and like a gravy and like mushroom. It had like cheese in it and bits of bacon. So it was like awesome. But let me tell you what was really cool. The server gave me about 50% more of that side than anybody else that ordered it. So not only did I get a good serving, but I got a lot of it. And that's what happens, is when you give people the opportunity to choose for you, in that instance, go to a restaurant. Don't ask them to give you things that you don't want, right? If there's something you don't want, then say anything but this, right? Don't set yourself up for being unhappy. But say, within these lists, you pick it out for me. And what happens is, they take pride in that. They take ownership in that. They're motivated from that. I was doing some work out in Colorado, and I was driving through Rabbit Ears Pass, and there was this little Mexican restaurant that was there outside of Breckenridge, and I stopped there, and they had 4 steak little skillets, and I didn't know which one I wanted, but I knew I wanted a steak skillet, so I told the server, bring me one. He was very confused. I said, don't tell me, bring it, and he brought it out, and he kept checking back how I was doing. I was there 3 weeks later, the same restaurant. I'm sitting in a different part of the restaurant. This guy comes over, hey, remember me? I picked your steak out for you. Do you want another steak? When we give people the chance to choose, they make good choices. That's ownership. And so that's a place to play with it, right? Give somebody a chance on something as inconsequential as the food that you might eat. Don't ask them to pick out something you're allergic to, but let them choose it. And then thank them for that choice. That's really leadership. And that's really an opportunity to get involvement. So I challenge you to practice that. The people that I've told that to, I've heard some pretty interesting stories about the things that have happened and how pleasantly they're surprised they've been when they have given up control and let somebody else choose for them. People like that. That's a blessing that they can give. It's a gift that they can give. And that's real leadership, because that means you got followership.